I was having a look through a document on my phone I have, which is a list of video ideas, and some of them are quite old, they were written quite a while back, and it's interesting to see how many of them just really don't suit me anymore. A lot of them were written in a time when I wasn't very happy. I wasn't too sure about the direction I was going in life, and also during the time when I was probably in the depths of my depression. A few examples of these titles of videos are, and these are only the video titles, not even the content I had kind of planned out. Self-doubts about my chosen path, unsuccessfully myself, broken, not ruined, losing momentum. Although interestingly, the last one on there is being in the right place all the time, which is kind of what I wanted to pick up on now and talk about the better place I'm currently in my sort of mentality and mindset, but also kind of how I managed to get here. After coming out of university, I had a real low point in my life. I just finished university and I did struggle during my last year at university. I didn't leave with a lot of, like, a clear line of progression going. I didn't know where I was going to go, and my portfolio wasn't in a strong place, and I struggled to try and find work in a relevant field coming out of university. So I sat kind of doing nothing, I think, for somewhere between 3 to 6 months. I can't really remember. The long period where I just kind of at my parents' house, kind of just sort of sinking further into myself. And during this time a little bit, I did some work at a pub, and this job was one of probably the worst jobs I think I've ever done. Not because the job itself was a particularly terrible job, but more the environment and kind of the actual, almost the working ethic. It was a small pub and it was run by a very elderly woman who A, barely remembered your name, B, often forgot to tell you when you're working, how often you're working. Yeah, you didn't know your rota sort of thing. Sometimes you get called a day like, why aren't you in work? It's like, well, I didn't know I was supposed to be working. And C, sometimes forgot to pay me. After a while, I eventually moved on from that job and I got a job working in retail. So if we start to fall into the routine of what I kind of consider my lifestyle and how recently I've been with jobs, is that every job is a step up from the last, even if it's in the minute detail. So I started as a retail job. It was a regular work, you actually worked week in, week out, you had a regular decent amount of shifts, and I was good at this job. I was very good. I found I was quite good at being a salesperson, at least in this sort of retail environment. I used to be one of the high achieving members in my department at the time I was there, and it just gave me so much confidence. I just saw, and it was during this sort of time I started to come out of my depression. I was doing CBT, I was on antidepressants at the same time, and during my time with this job, I came off and finished both of those things and haven't gone back on depressant antidepressants since. So I was really good at this job for the time being, and it kept me going. It was a whole week, so anywhere between Mondays to Sundays, and shifts were up and down and here and there everywhere. So it was a bit chaotic, it was very, very involved. It kept me very busy. But as it got towards the end of, well, my time with the company, after about nearly a year, it was starting to do the inverse effect. So it was starting driving back down, it was starting to go lower again. It was just so much pressure to keep achieving and beating your previous record when it came to things like your sales targets and goals, and it just kept going on and piling it on, and just work more, achieve higher. So that was going back downhill quickly. So we got out of that, we started looking for a new job. Got a new job, it was a customer service job. So the job itself was kind of still not anywhere near really where I wanted to be career-wise, but it wasn't a Monday to Sunday job anymore, it was a Monday to Friday job. Now it's still kind of shift-based, even though it was a bit more structured, and it was a much better company. This is the one I currently work for. That's sort of a step up. It's a little step up, but it wasn't sort of in the direction of where I wanted to go towards my career kind of avenue, or towards like a creative industry kind of basis. But it was a step up. I was no longer working 7 days a week, or within 7 days a week. I was now working Monday to Friday, and I actually had weekends off. Again, I was really quite good at this job. It wasn't a sales target-based job. It was hard to kind of measure performance, and it wasn't a case of like trying to be better than your colleagues. It was just kind of working with your colleagues. And I was good, I got on with that job. Now fast forward to where we are now, I've been with the company for about 9-10 months, and as I mentioned in my last video, I've just moved department to the marketing department. And again, this is another step up, and this is also another step up in terms of no longer doing shift work. It's Monday, Friday, 9 to 5. I'm on that sort of the standard kind of job time, so that's a step up, but then also it's a step in the right direction. I've moved into marketing. Marketing is obviously part of like a kind of creative industry kind of job. It is directly related to the career I wanted to be part of when I was doing my degree, when I was doing college. It's a step in the right direction. And all this has come about as me just kind of being in a better mind space, but also just kind of just progressing, just keep going forward, just keep doing something. Something I said a long time ago, I think maybe in a video somewhere, but it doesn't matter which direction you're going in, as long as you keep going in a direction. If you stand still and do nothing, you never learn which direction you're supposed to be going in. But if you go in a direction, even if it's the wrong direction, you learn that's the wrong direction, and you can then go somewhere else, and then you can go somewhere else. If you stay still and never go in a direction, never even try and pick a direction, you're never going to know which is the right direction. I didn't necessarily go the wrong direction. I went in a direction, and it wasn't the most, like, let's say I'm here, this is where I was outside of university, and this is where I wanted to get to, the creative industry. I didn't go that way. I kind of went like this way, and again eventually curved back in. I went in a direction, even though it wasn't seemingly completely irrelevant to what I wanted to do. I've managed to curve it back into where I wanted to be. That's why those video ideas I had, they're not relevant to me anymore, and it's great to hear that. I'm kind of proud of myself in that regard, that I've managed to push myself out of that sort of dire place I was in, and I didn't think I was ever going to get out of it at the time. Yeah, it's interesting to see what a year can do to a person, like 2 years even more so. As long as I keep this idea of every job is a step up from the last, even if it's a minute step, like, you know, changing from working weekends to working 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, small changes like that. As long as every step is a step up, even in the tiniest regard, I think if I keep that attitude, keep that mentality, things can only get better, and really interesting to see where that leads me in life. Really am. I've said a lot of reallys and interesting things through here. Too many. Gonna stop now. Okay, bye.